Welcome everybody to a brand new episode of the Melanated Convo podcast, and we live this time, family. You know what I mean? This one was important to me. Just being, I'm a native of Sacramento. We have a lot of important figures that have come up through the generations. You know what I mean? And right next to me is one of the brothers that has not only paved the way for our basketball landscape, he's paved the way for our music landscape. Now he's paving the way with his philanthropy and doing stuff for the kids, you feel me? So on today's show, a brand new episode of the Melanated Convo podcast, make sure y'all like, subscribe, tell everybody about the show. On the show today, I got my brother Russell Osby, a.k.a. Bueno. What's up, boy?
What's up with my brother?
Come on now, man.
Appreciate
Come on now,
you,
man.
Appreciate the love. Appreciate the support. This long overdue. Mm-hmm. But I think it's perfect timing.
Perfect timing. So, because y'all, me and Bueno did an interview before, man, and for the first time ever, you know what I mean? And I learned a lot during that time period where I filmed it. It was dope, and that shit just wouldn't play for me, you know what I mean? But now we back though, you know what I mean?
Right.
And we need to start from the beginning. So Bueno, take me back to like the high school days, bro, because most people may not know.
Right.
I've shown people your basketball league,
right, and
they had no idea who you were,
right.
So take me back to that time. You went to Kennedy, right?
I went to Kennedy High School, graduated with honors. I was a kid. I played football, baseball, and basketball my whole life, and I had the pleasure to be like one of those top kids as a youth. So by the time it came to high school, I had to pick. I was picking out of like Christian Brothers and Sac High, Burbank and Kennedy, because I live in Meadowview. I'm a Meadowview kid. I'm off of 21st Street. It was Burbank and Kennedy was like the two schools that I could pick from. Mm-hmm. So big bro went to Kennedy. My big sister went to Kennedy. Sports was exploding at the time. It was a huge priority, but I chose the K House because of the tradition and and the family tree.
Yeah. Because I went to Burbank. I graduated from Burbank in '98. Right. My brother Isaac went to Burbank too.
Right.
So I kind of went to the school just based on family tradition as well. Right. So this is something I don't know about you, right? Because it's been like how many albums? Like 14 albums, 13 albums?
Well, if I don't know how to say it, but studio albums, LPs, it's only 6. And I don't want to say only because that's a respectable amount. Mm-hmm. But then you got the mixtapes. Okay. I had mixtapes. I had 2 different mixtape series. I had the Maloof Money mixtape series, and then I had the Legends Live Forever mixtape series. So when you adding up all of that stuff, I had a movie with a soundtrack to it. Yep. So when you adding up all those projects and stuff, it might be around.
So, because again, you were highly touted in basketball. Right. What helped make that transition? Because when I was younger, because at that time I'm maybe 10 or 11. Right. You know what I mean? So all of us is watching, but when did it transition from, okay, I can possibly go to college for hoop and make this my life? When did you transition into the music?
Well, after college. I'm one of them dudes to where I ended up, I was sports first, you know what I mean? And the sports, it ran its course. I did it till I couldn't do it no more. I literally tore my iliopsoas muscle, my stomach muscle. Damn. I'm at Cal State Los Angeles on a full scholarship. I had been in like 2 or 3 different colleges transferring, and I was in the transfer portal. I was in the transfer portal like a mug back then. But what happened was as I was, I'm in LA. I got to pick out after coming back from USC and going to consume this and not being able to finish my D1 clock. They had rules in place, so you had to go D2 because your clock already started and all that. So I was picking out of Fort Hays Stays in Kansas and Cal State Los Angeles, and they was both legendary programs with legendary coaches, with doing great at the time. But I thought about it after I'm done. Do I want relationships in Kansas or do I want relationships in LA? And I was like, man, I think I fit in LA, right? So I hadn't even ever been to Kansas. That's the funny thing about people too. Maybe Kansas might have had afforded some possibilities. But just because my ignorance, not knowing, I just picked what I knew. Went to LA, and as I was there and got hurt, I started to. As I was there, I'm already in awe, right? Because I've been there. Everybody went to Disneyland and all that, but I never lived out there. So now that I'm living out there, I'm in awe. I'm meeting all the people. I'm knowing people. They introduced me, and my whole team was from out in Southern California. So they take me to their neighborhoods. But I just started to think more and more about what I was going to do after basketball. And as I got hurt, I was like, man, we be freestyling all day long. Let me see if these freestyles, could do something.
Wait. So in high school, you wasn't rapping at all?
I didn't rap at all.
Damn.
I ain't rap. I laughed at the rappers. I was looking like, man, these niggas ain't never going. Look at these niggas, man. What is they doing? And they in circles. And at that time, you was gangster or you was backpack.
Yes, sir.
And the gangster ones was like, man, what is it? And then, because my brother and all them was in the streets for real, and the real gangsters didn't rap. So the gangster stuff rap didn't make sense. And then the backpackers was like, bro, you talking about sun, moon, and stars, and pyramids, and, So it was a thing where we kind of joked and laughed and didn't think rapping was even a possibility for somebody to do.
And that's such a real thing, bro, because I remember in the early 90s, before NWA and everybody really got popping, Snoop and all them, nobody seen money in rap.
Right.
So for street guys, it was like, you finna tell everybody what you doing?
Yeah, that wasn't it. Like, it wasn't, like you said, in the 90s, it wasn't no rap money. Tupac and them popularized rap, him and Biggie with that East-West stuff. They took it to such another plateau. And then Tupac, people don't understand, Tupac is like the rapper who, and he said it, I come out and sell 5 million. Tupac was coming out selling 5 million, and Jay-Z and them they wasn't even going gold.
They wasn't going gold.
It was like rappers that was the top. It was no middle class. It was upper class and lower class. And everybody was in the lower class.
Everybody was in the lower class. And it's funny, even around that time, because I remember getting Jay-Z's first album,
Reasonable Doubt.
I never forget. And I took that shit off and put San Quinn new album on.
Right. And see, and I got Jay-Z's first album, and I played it, and the whole neighborhood was like, bruh, if you ain't playing that New York shit. But I'm like, bruh, this nigga is amazing, bruh. But people don't understand, too, like I just said, Tupac sold 5 million, Jay-Z wasn't even selling gold.
Nope.
He'll tell you, and the records are showed later, that's when Reasonable Doubt rolled to gold. It kept selling. Like, them projects ain't go gold. They didn't sell 500,000 copies till 10 years after it came out. And the record industry is set up to where you got to sell in the first 10 days.
Really?
Yeah, it's the first week sales that matter.
That's why they're so big on first week.
Yeah, because honestly, that's where all the money's going. The bulk is going to come in the impulse buying. So it's all in the first week, and then it's small scattered sales after. So they want, and all that money in the first week, they need all the possible money that they can get to recoup with everything that they just spent. They don't want to wait 4 months for some, they don't want to wait 10 years for Reasonable Doubt to go gold and get some money. But in the process, he became huge, and he had other projects that went platinum. When that hadn't even gone gold. And that's the part of growth and journeys and all that.
Yeah, so when you first start rapping, like, how did everybody, because did everybody around you, like, what's this nigga doing? Like, did it seem out of the blue?
I was so good in basketball. I didn't realize. I always knew I was amazing in sports. People told me I was amazing. I didn't understand how amazing I was till I started rapping. These niggas said, man, we not calling you Bueno. We not listening to no rap. You was too good at something else. We don't get it, bro. We don't get it. And slowly but surely, and not really slowly but surely, one album I put out, Skeleton Key, while I was at Cal State LA, right? Put it out like at the tail end of, and it's Russell Osby. It's not Bueno. I didn't cuss a lot. I had a team and a coach and professors, and so it was a different type of album, right? Man, these niggas frisbeed that thing. Like, bro, I told your ass, stay on that court, right? It only made me go harder. I went to the drawing board. I bumped into this young producer. I go into this house to get some tree, and I look over. It's a little DJ. And he's like, man, he's the one that got it. And I don't want to tell on him, but I got to say his name. But he's just like, my name DJ Mighty Mike. He was like in high school. And he was like, man, you amazing. I heard some of the freestyles you was doing. He's like, let's do a mixtape. We ended up doing a mixtape. I did another one. And it was different than that Skeleton Kid. and before you know it, it coincided with me getting hurt and coming home. I didn't have no pressures, nobody listening or hold me back, no image of a basketball player no more. Man, I went in and it just started to go up. And then, we had a situation where Kev Nash was like, bro, I did a show at Consumers with Keith Sneak and the Ghetto Stars, Frico.
Yeah.
And they were something. I was trying to be something, and Kev was in the stand in the audience. He said, "Bro, everybody treated you like them, bro. Meet me tomorrow. Let's make this work." So that's how Change the Game came about.
Change the Game. Damn, I remember that album. So because I've even when the last time we interviewed, I did my due diligence and looked through your whole catalog. I'm looking at all the features.
That's what's up.
And I'm just really I respect the fact that you didn't give up, bro.
Oh,
that you kept, and that happened after me starting to do some creative shit.
Right.
Something that don't got a paycheck immediately attached to it.
Right.
But it's something in your mind you got to get out.
Right.
Because motherfuckers don't really respect that.
Right.
You say you go and rap it or you go and do some podcast shit. They're like, yeah, that's cool. Where the money at?
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So what made you keep going? Like,
honestly, that's the first time in my life ever that I built something. Like, it was like the hardest thing I ever did in my life because I didn't even know I didn't know that none of my people was gonna support it. I didn't know that none of my community was gonna support it. But then we realized I had my best friend with me the whole time now. I've been with him since 10. Shouts out to Cream, 100. Shouts out to Vega. We hooped together. So we just was looking at each other like, bruh, we was the best guards in the city, in Northern California state. Like, guess what, bro? We finna do it. Like, we didn't even, our dumbness a little bit was like, bro, what else we gonna do? But go hard. So we went hard, and sure enough, bro, like I said, it worked. And the funny thing about it is, to this day, I ain't the most, how can I put it? When you think of the rappers, you might not even think of me sometimes. Especially if you ain't from our era. But if you from our era, you like, bro, Bo and Lynch, they wasn't around. Mozzie, Lavish D, they hadn't started. Wayne filled the whole void that a lot of people don't really appreciate. And then somebody came to me one day and was like, you like probably, you ain't the biggest rapper from Sacramento, you ain't the most popular, the richest or nothing. Probably the most important though. And I was like, for real? They said, bro, you the bridge. You took one era from Bo and them and held it down till Lavish D and all them came.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Because when we look at Sacramento rap history, I'm always thinking of Bo. And of course we think of Lynch.
Of course.
Those are the names that just pop in there, right? But again, looking at your catalog, bro, I'm like, go back to the 90s, the early 2000s. Look at everybody catalog, you right there. Right.
And see, that's the thing too. Some people get they're like, I started in 2003, same as LeBron. As soon as LeBron came out, I came out. You feel? He played here, we at the game. You feel me? Was his first game. What's crazy about it is by 2005, I'm on the radio. 2004, 2000. I'm doing intros for 103.5. Again, I did it a little different, bro. And Lynch ain't do that. Mozzie, Lavish D. Like I was that radio. I was that dude. I was on Vlad. Before I was on Vlad before the new dudes, and the old dudes didn't get a chance to get on Vlad. You know what I mean? And I don't want to say but the dudes who came before me, Bows and Lynches and stuff, they wasn't necessarily on the Vlads, and they might have been. Not to knock them or nothing like that, but again, I caught a cold wave that I was able to, like I said, try to branch the two generations together and then bring the city together at the same time.
So, and I don't think you answered this. What made you not stop? Like, was there ever a moment
It wasn't an option. I ain't never stopped in my life. So it was just a confidence that I didn't really doubt that I couldn't do it. You know what I mean? And then what's cold about it, me and Cream joke about it all the time. Man, we did so much successful stuff. I get paid from this music every month to this day, right? And I'll get it for the rest of my life from all my music that sells all across the world. But we didn't know what kind of monster we was going against. You know what I mean? Like how this industry is really ran. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Stuff like that. We just, again, an innocent cockiness and confidence that had us thinking that why not?
Why not? And I understand the confidence because, again, looking at your catalog, everybody from Northern California especially, all the rappers that are important, that everybody loves, you worked with all of them.
All of them. I can name the ones I didn't work with more than the ones, and it's like Too Short and Richie Rich. You know what I mean? But everybody else, from the Keita Sneaks to the Yuck Mouths to the Mac Dre's to the E40s to the Jackas them was my bros. And what's dope about it, I only paid them one time, the first time. They all kind of told me, you earned this now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, bro, you one of us. So I never even had to deal with it in that form. And then a lot of people don't believe in paying people. You know what I mean? And on the independent level, Jack had told me something interesting. He was like, Bueno, you know why? We just sitting there one day. He said, you know why I paid nigga for a feature? I said, why? He said, because I want a nigga to pay me too. I said, makes sense. This shit gotta go.
It gotta go around. It gotta be a little ecosystem.
Exactly. So.
Yeah. So give me some, because you did a song with Mac Dre, right? Because Mac Dre, it's a funny thing about him. I remember Mac Dre like the California living days.
Right.
I remember seeing in my cousin's room. Like, who's this nigga, right? When he came back out and reinvented himself, honestly, I didn't know what to make of it. I'm like, I know he a damn gangster, but it was coming off different. You know what I mean? So tell me about Mac, like your experiences.
I'll tell you a few situations, but number one is that I never knew Mac Dre in those days. I wasn't a Mac Dre fan at all. That's my brother's favorite rapper of all time, but my brother ain't got no real favorites. He's not a fan type of dude, but if you know, you love Mac Dre, you be playing Mac Dre, you fuck with Mac Dre. When I did the song with Dre, it's a few, I got stupid stories. Number one is that out of all them dudes I did songs with, shows with, rubbed elbows with, cool as hell. Dre and Yuck, them two dudes was like big bros. They pull up on you, they help you, they talk to you, do you need me? And it's real. I done had a lot of people kind of play the big bro role, but I got a real big brother, right? Dre and Yuck was like the closest thing to a real big brother. Like they was some dope dudes, you know. And I don't want to say was because Yuck's still here, obviously. Yeah. But Dre was like that. I got a bunch of stories. I'll tell you one quick one. I tell it all the time. When we did the music together, you know, I paid him. It was the first album. So he didn't know me. A bunch of them dudes didn't know me. They looking at me, you know, because we didn't send music back then. We had to be in the same spot.
Yeah.
So they looking at me like, okay, this little nigga fitted and shit. He looking like he the nigga. But let's hear what he sound like. Then I go in the booth and they be like, okay, you can rap your ass off, all right. So then they start going, man, call around and find out why don't nobody know about this nigga, right? Is he a snitch? This nigga's a weirdo? Like, what? So Dre did a thing to where, when our song we did, they lost the files. And this is my album, my babies. I be treating them like my babies. So I'm it's chaos. You know, I'm oh my God, man. You know, I'm like, we're not gonna be able to get him back. You know, he's just starting to blow up, kinda, right? He's everywhere. We're like, we're not gonna be able to get him back in here. Now, this is another quick fact. I paid Yuck, I paid 40, I paid FedEx and Ryder J. Clyde, and I paid Dre. I paid Dre like some of the lowest, and it was because of rank. You know what I mean? Where dudes was, what he asked for. Just to show you, a year later, after 2002, 2003, he was probably making 10 times that anywhere he went. He was probably turning it down because he got so on fire.
Yeah,
right?
he was.
But he took that money from me. I ain't really gonna say how much it was. It wasn't too much or nothing, but definitely respectable, and we respect it. But it ain't nothing that you would think Mac Dre took. Wow, right? We do the song, they lose it. We gotta find them, and I'm telling them he somebody paying me again, and I'm like, I can't, I'm not paying you again. My budget gone, and it was the last song of the album too. Met the studio, dope dude. Shout out to Rick Rock, rest in peace. He just passed away. Hitworks and Digital. These two dudes is legendary. They did Digital as an engineer, and Rick Rock owned the studio. Hitworks. Digital did all of the engineering for Tupac and all kind of stuff in the back in the days, and Rick Rock was his assistant, right? And did all kind of videoing for Tupac, right? So these dudes are super legendary. Rick Rock just passed away, but they was G's, and they said, bro, we gonna pay for it. That was our fault. That's kind of super heard of, even though that was my first album. The stuff I seen later, dudes ain't gonna do that, especially for a dude who ain't popular like that. So they paid him. He came back, did the verse, and invited me to breakfast. You know what I mean? Right before my album was coming out, and told me, man, I've been seeing your posters everywhere. That song we did 5 months ago. Most people do songs and they don't even put them out, or they just listen. He you really putting it out? You got yourself all over. He I'm proud of you, bro. I'm about to come get you. He come get me. We on the three-way with Melly. Melly put us on the freeway, big famous. I'm on the phone on the three-way. He come get me and take me to, Melly asked me, man, after we hang up, what'd he say? I said, that nigga said he want to come get me for breakfast. That nigga said, can I go? I'm like, yeah, you put us on the phone. So I tell him he got to pick up my partner. He pick him up. We in the Benz on the Dalvins, the legendary Ben on the Dalvin Spinners, and we go to Florin Road, I'm drawing a blank right now.
Denny's, something like that?
No, the Stagecoach.
Stagecoach.
We go to the legendary Stagecoach,
yeah.
right? And he's sitting in there and he just giving me game. And he your album come out tomorrow? It was really a thing to where your album come out tomorrow, nigga, this is a celebration, right? And it was really a thing that you celebrating with me, nigga, I'm coming. He didn't act like that, though. I was in the inside, bro, I can't believe it. I made it. My shit gonna come out tomorrow, it's on it, blah, 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 blah. He just told me, he was like, Wayne, don't ever come outside if you ain't ready. And I was like, I kind of knew what he was talking about. He said, like that FUBU shirt you got on? I said, this nigga's cold. He was like, that's about I said, this is like the last time I'm wearing. This is about the last wearing that motherfucker. It's like, this nigga cold. But he was super cool, super dope. And that's just one experience I had with him.
Damn, that's amazing, man. So Keek, 40, all these guys, you was actually in the studio with them.
Yeah.
Damn. And that's important because you got the respect from your peers.
Come on, man. And not just any peers, right?
Yeah.
Legendary peers, right? Super, super legendary situation.
Damn. So
I got footage too.
Yeah?
Got a bunch of mini DVs in my mom's garage.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's gonna be worth something one day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As everybody get older and shit.
Right.
And you still doing the music. I see last year you dropped something.
I dropped something with Sine, Take Your Time. Sine is one of my partners in crime. I've been doing music with her over 10 years. She got that beautiful voice. Contact her. She's so professional, can hit any ranges, do any pockets. I'm one of them dudes that say, I got an idea. And then, damn, you did it better than my idea. Like so. And I was just looking through Tidal, and I seen you had an album with Street Knowledge. Yeah, that's bro, rest in peace.
And I got up on him around the time, right before he died. So y'all was cool.
See, most people don't know the story. Dub 20 just talked about it the other day. Knowledge flagged me down in 2004 in my Bueno van he had airbrush on with his friend. They was both airbrushed together. He's like, you bueno. I'm like, yeah. He's like, bro, we rap. We need to sign with you. I told him, and his buddy is obviously still alive. He said to this day, he said, you told us hop in and took us to the Bay. And I was like, I did. He said, you was picking up a check from your distribution. I used to do that all the time because they send it. But you know, I can get that motherfucker a whole lot quicker, right? So I take the trip to the Bay too and do my rounds real quick. You know, go see some people at Rasputin's and go to the different record stores, check on my records and stuff.
Back when you had to go touch the people.
Exactly. I had them on one of them runs and they was like, look at that check. It was maybe like $3,800 or something, right? And they like,
but for rapping, but see that's
what people work for, right? To be ripped. My mama worked for that every 2 weeks. And that'd be good. That'd be adequate for kids and a family. You got 2 people doing that.
Y'all good.
Eating good,
y'all
right?
Good, yeah.
So that was always my mentality. Like, wow. And then I had 4 kids, married, you know what I mean, at the time, you know what I mean? So I'm like, you know, she don't understand this, but I guess she understands this, right? So, but at that time I was so resentful. It's like, man, you know, I ain't gonna be married long. You know, because I got a journey. You know, you ain't on my journey, right? So, but it's crazy because knowledge ended up staying with me that day, and it stayed with me all the way until the Jacker situations where he started to get with Jack and all.
I remember he was with him a lot.
Most people say, man, no, he just was with Jacker. He wasn't with you and all that. I'm not the dude to go, boy, y'all bought that nigga so many number 3s and 1s and 2s from McDonald's. But yeah, at the end of the day, it was him. He was a little homie, and I had his boy with me, which is Dollar, Yanga now. I don't know if you're familiar with Yanga. I had Zoe, who doing time right now, Oso, and I made him my little the Outlaws or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, your own little clique.
Yeah. So that was kind of my thing, but I always knew with knowledge he was special. They was all amazing. I used to tell them, y'all gotta be better than me, because I don't want no dudes that's worse than me. Like, I ain't that dude, right? I don't want no dudes I can control. I want some dudes that can grow and go do some stuff, right? So knowledge was always special and took his career and ran with it.
Damn, man. Now, how do music's changed so much, especially since when you came out.
Right.
And as a fan, I'm listening to a lot of the new hip hop. I think we talked about this a little bit before. I'm listening to the new hip hop, and I don't know the nuances of being in the studio, how hard it is, any of that.
Right.
So I hear a lot of this shit, and my first reaction is this shit sucks.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
How are you looking at it? Because your ears is a little different.
Yeah, my ears are a little different, to be quite honest. You know, and not different than yours, but different than, like, I don't want to say you're the average, but like the average person just listen to it.
Definitely.
When I hear this stuff, like, you see, again, because I did this music, and this is the first time I ever did this in my life, is really step outside my body and look at stuff from other people's perspective, because I had to sell something, right? I didn't sell basketball. I didn't sell football and baseball. This stuff I had to sell. You got to make a good product. You got to be aware of your customers, aware of the climate, aware of what's going on. It's so much that go into it. Then you got to realize, if you don't even like the shit, everybody else could. Or you can love the shit, nobody else does. So it's like, it don't even matter about you at the end of the day. And in the craziest ways. You got to make stuff that's viable to the customers, to the people that are consuming it. So with that being said, me listening to this music, I can hear the greatness in a lot of it, right? I can hear the talent in a lot of it. The structures is a lot different. And then people don't understand, we come from traditional rap where people rap. They singing and stuff now.
They singing a whole bunch of harmonies, yep.
So this is kind of new for our own ears and our own taste. But ultimately, it's a lot of bullshit, right?
Yeah.
And then you can hear a lot of quality. And the weirdest thing about it, the dopest people is the qualityest ones.
Yes.
It just don't change.
It don't change, and it's getting back to where it should be. When Killer Mike just won those Grammys,
right.
And somebody made a list where it was like the Grammy Award-winning rapper was 48, the rapper who got the best video or something was 38. So they all older, because if you really look at it, the ARs, the
A&Rs,
the A&R and the artist development,
right,
doesn't seem like it's there as much.
Well, And not to cut you off, what happened was it became business or it's art. Art means you cultivate people the right way and help them grow to get the best out of them. Business is, you don't gotta practice, but they like because she got a big booty. Well, use the booty and let's just sell it, right? We can sell like it's dudes like 50 Cent. No disrespect, 50 a talent, but they were selling his image the whole time.
They were.
So how fast they sell 1 million records with his career? The first project, how fast Rakim and Snoop Dogg, some of these other dudes, even like Snoop, it's an image.
Yep.
You know, he would rap his ass off, but they were selling Murderers Case, Crip, all kind of other stuff that go with it, right? But when you look at with Tupac originally started off in an era where you just rap. He became the poster boy for, his shit is selling for more than just rap, because people was paying attention because of all the billboard, all the front page stories and all that.
Yeah, everything going on with it.
So it's a crazy thing because they jeopardize art for business, then when you talk to these people in these front offices, they gonna tell you, man, this is a fucking business, bro. Like, you take that art shit back to your neighborhood.
We need to get this money.
It was for us and by us for a reason, and that's why the very first rapper said, we don't want to sell this shit. Because they already was so smart. I mean, you can go back to all the different forms of art. Once you start selling it, bro, it's going to appreciate. Come on, it's depreciating like a motherfucker, and look what we got now.
Immediately. And it's funny you say that because the Melly Mels of the world, some of these dudes never really made records. There's a lot of old school rappers who was doing it and still kind of popular to this day. They never sold it.
Yeah. You know, and then you got a lot of people that just did it their way. You feel me? Like Jay Electronica. He put out what he wanted to, how he wanted to, and when he wanted to. You know, people control it. And then you got Nipsey that came with a whole nother. Like, I'm gonna let you pick how much you gonna pay. I'm not gonna sell. I'm not gonna put out, like me, for instance. My first album was an album. When I met Nipsey in Vegas, right? We all on a showcase together, right? And Nucci, shout out to Nooch be at all this shit. Sacramento, you know, all these niggas talk about this, that, and the other, man. I be in this shit with nobody around from Sacramento for 10 years, you feel me? But Nooch ass was there, you feel me? And a few other people, but me, Nooch, we out there with Nip, and then we later see the situation where it's like you shouldn't even put albums out. You should put mixtapes out, because once you put an album out, they start using it against you as an album sale. So you just got to be strategic and know, you know, stay ahead of the curve.
So after being in the rap game for a while, what made you decide to actually start getting into movies? Because you had the American Cream, right? Is it?
Yeah, most definitely. It go hand in hand. You know what I mean? A video ain't nothing but a small movie, right? And if you can get creative, you're like, man, let's make that motherfucker long. You know what I mean? But you know, we don't got that type of creativity just floating around. But during that pandemic, you started to see a bunch of that. You know what I mean? People getting creative, had more time. So some dudes reached out to me. Corey B, shouts out to Corey B. They had a show called PAX. I don't know if you're familiar with that. Legendary shit. Say I'm giving them some promo. They had like a mini series in Sacramento called PAX, where they was moving packs. These dudes was hopping out of trunks with guns, shooting, and you know they was, oh man, meet me in North Highlands, nigga. Where you at? I'm on Broadway. I'm like, bro, this is what I wanted to do. I want to put our setting in like that setting, right? And sure enough, he reached out to me, had me in a scene, and I told him, nigga, let's do a movie. You know what I mean? He like, let's do it. And I was like, bro, you don't know me, nigga. I got with my boy D Stone. Shouts out to D Stone. D Stone write screenplays. We smoking one day, just chopping it up, and D Stone like, you know, I do these screenplays. Mind you, D Stone was a star basketball player when we was kids, and went to CBA when it was the CBA, so it would have been in the G League. And D Stone ended up doing movies and independent films and things like that, and writing them and being in them. And he basically was like, Bueno, we should do something. I was like, literally. We sit next to each other in the car. I'm like, nigga, what if, nigga, I'll be a coach, and what if I was a dad, and then, nigga, my son, I got a little son, he tight, you feel, he like, you call him Little Bueno, and I'm like, right, and then I'm like, nigga, and then I'm just a cool dude and I'm trying to do the right thing, but I'll get evicted. And I need to do that. I don't want to do the wrong thing. And that nigga like, and then a nigga get at you to try to get you to sell some drugs. I'm like, yeah. And we just start writing. And wrote the whole movie. We wrote like the whole idea of the movie in about 3-4 hours. He was like, keep rolling up, boy. Keep rolling up. I'm rolling up. Haven't seen my brother in a long time. Excited to see him. Proud of what he been doing. He dope as hell. He telling me, yeah, lighting and and this right here, this could be scene 3 and it's dark outside. And I'm like, yeah, no, that sounds like daytime. And,
y'all put it together.
And then I'm thinking in my head, you know what? This clothing line, a local clothing line had me wearing their clothes. Mm-hmm. They call it American Cream. And I told the dude, I said, man, that would be a dope album. And I can do the album, we can give away a t-shirt or something, let's do a collab together. Mm-hmm. He was like, it's cool. But I'm thinking, let's make that the movie. And we could do the t-shirt and give it away. And then I'll make my music the soundtrack. Plus I was getting older, I'm like, I don't want to put out albums, so to make them the soundtrack of movies, it's a lot more elegant, a lot more worthy, and seemed a lot more adequate at my age. Put it together, and that movie, I put out all them projects. I did all that shit with Legendary Dudes. That movie was the most impactful thing outside of 6 a.m., the song with Bruno Mars that dropped in 2009. Them was big explosions. The movie was a huge explosion. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, what? But putting that visual, people hear audio, that's music. Yep. If you can put the visual and the audio together, it's a wrap. So.
Yeah, you plan on doing another one?
Well, that's what's crazy about it. It's like, these niggas ain't never said, man, they say, I get it every once in a while. My kids be with me and they be like, a dude just seen us at Walmart. Bueno, when you gonna put out some more music? So I get it, but that movie, niggas is in my inbox, bro. Because these niggas got a scene too. Yeah. See, they can share the movie with me more than they can share the music.
That makes sense.
They're in it.
That makes sense.
They're like, oh, nigga, that was my movie. Like, nigga,
everybody who in it feel like it's there.
Right. Your back turn, nigga. So, it's cool. But that's what I did it for, to kind of involve the whole city, different people. And you don't have to be an artist to be in it, right? You could be just a homie and have a full scene in the shit, you know what I mean? Or something, so.
That's dope. Very, very creative. I seen it and I was like, a good lane, because there's motherfuckers out here shooting movies with their phone.
Right.
It ain't no reason you can't be creative with all these tools we got.
Right. That was the plan. And I wasn't trying to get hellified and this, that, and other. I gave you, like, my music for many years. Jay Stalin told me one day, he was like, Wayne, you play it too safe. And I'm like, I know exactly what he meant though. He like, nigga, you don't want to say certain shit. Like, they want you to say it. He said, I say that shit. And you know what happened? They loved it. So with you gotta be easy. So it's funny because with the movie, they always told me, man, you too clean. The movie was rough.
It was.
And I was like, leave it like that. And everybody was like, nigga, that's what I like. You ain't trying to be too clean. You feel me? So I think that worked in our favor.
Yeah, now to touch on something else real quick, because you mentioned about the first album coming out and you have 4 kids, you had a wife, because I got 5 kids, you know what I mean? So talk to me real quick about the fatherhood journey. Because a lot of us, let me ask you real quick, was your dad in your life when you was younger?
Yeah, amazing.
So you had your pops.
Yeah, but divorced, so he wasn't in the house. Amazing. Amazing dude.
Damn, so...
My dad moved 3 blocks down there. My dad divorced, him and my mom divorced when I was 3. I don't really remember him in the house. My brother do and my sister do. My brother's 3 years older, my sister's 6 years older than me. Dad moved 2 blocks down the street. That nigga was like he was in my house my whole time. And then I had I don't want to say an older dad, but I had no young dad. So my dad wasn't trying to be my friend. He coached us. You couldn't cuss around Mr. Osby. You know what I mean? Nucci, them, they'll tell you, all the hoodlums, right? And not that Nucci's a hoodlum, but all the guys that grew up in our hood on that street stuff, you got to keep that away from certain adults back then, And then there was the adults that, you didn't have to respect like that. They didn't demand that type. Well, everybody will tell you without a blink of an eye, bro. Like Mr. Osby, like you respect him. And then Pops had the root beer brown Z28, cowboy boots. You feel me? The tight jeans. You feel me? And he wasn't trying to be. He quiet, toothpick in his mouth. You feel me? Didn't ever play no sports. You know what I mean? But he was the dopest man I ever knew, the smartest man I ever knew. And then Pops never, not one time, told me he was going to do something and didn't do it. He was real big on that. Like,
that's important.
You know, and then showered us with love, held discipline on us. You know what I mean?
So, because I was going to ask about just the difficulties of being young and black and having those kids like that. But getting the information from your dad and just having that love as a kid, that helped you then, right?
Tremendously. Tremendously, bro. Like, one thing that separated me from a lot of my friends is they didn't have no dad.
I hear that so much.
One thing that separated me from a lot of black men is they didn't have no dad. And the dad that I had, right? And at the end of the day, honestly, like, fatherhood hella easy to me. The toughest part is two main things, and I'm just being honest. Who you have them with.
You damn right.
Right? And then getting them to understand their greatness. Because I'm a special kind of dad. I did so much already. I've been so successful in so many places. I'm not trying to compete with them and, be better than them. I'm trying to help them be the best thing that they can be because I already did it for myself. You know what I mean? So that's one of the easy things by having a dope dad. And give me them examples and he just had so much game for me. And then for me to be able to like practice so much of what I'm teaching my kids as a kid for myself. Being on time, trying my hardest, being confident. I did it myself as a kid and I got it from him a lot, right? So it just made being a father for me so much easier.
I bet, because so many dudes, in every neighborhood, there's a dude with a dad, and that dad becomes like the surrogate father for everybody in the neighborhood. Because kids want discipline and structure. That's what I learned.
They're dying for it.
They call your dad mean, but they wanted to walk in your house and him ask about the homework or get on the ass. You know what I mean?
And as they get older, you understand it more and more and more. You appreciate it more and more and more. Every kid, like my youngest son, right? He'll tell me, "Dad, you gotta stay on me." Got 3.8. You feel me? The sharpest one, but at the same time, he the one don't want to take a shower, right? But he gon', so at the end of the day, like, he understands. Like we all do. We was little kids, like, man, we know right from wrong. It's just how much wrong can we get away with? And then the village is like, who can I run to when everybody else hold me accountable? But when I was a kid, you can go nowhere.
Man, it's so funny you say that because I've had situations with my kids. Me and my baby mamas, we cool now. Like as a man, I straighten all that shit out. But my house, because we weren't together, right? So me and my wife, my kids would come over every other weekend, and my house was structured. My house was bedtime. Whoop your ass. You know what I mean? Send them home. Things are a little different. Come back. I gotta retrain.
And then, you see, the last two live with me now. I've been doing that. Oldest 25, so I've been doing that for 20. Well, we was married for 10 years, so I was doing it for about 10 or 12 years. To where it was like, no, like, bro, like, what I'm doing, like, how we working, like, and then I'm big on education, I'm big on health, I'm big on activity, right? I'm big on extracurricular stuff, I'm big on all of these different things that, when we looking for that significant other, we don't think about nothing.
We won't think about that, and that makes it more difficult, man. That's a part of my journey is. The reason why I'm here is because of all those difficulties. And I had to find something. Like I had to find myself like a motherfucker. Having 2 kids at 17, 4 by the time I'm 22. My mom died when I was 19, you know what I mean? So it was a lot, but every time I see a black father putting in that effort, you gotta salute him.
Exactly.
Because it's difficult, and unfortunately, until shit changes, a lot of us didn't grow up with that. So if you're in a position to do that for your kids, you got to put in that work because they gonna have kids. You know what I mean?
And then I often say, like, when they all out the house and they call you and check on or whatever, they either gonna be calling you for some help. Hey, Dad, can I borrow this? Or they gonna be like, Dad, I got some help for you. Hey, Dad, I just put this in your account. Like in the craziest way, because I'm a rational dude and I'm me. I ain't got a problem saying that they're investments. You know what I mean? They investments like a motherfucker, right? But it's positive investments, and great investments, investments that the most important investments.
There we go. Yeah.
And at the end of the day, I ain't investing in me. It's investing in all of us, right? Because we gotta bury each other, we gotta carry each other, we gotta go visit each other in jail, or we celebrating each other at these graduations or these promotions and positive things. So, you know. That's a fact.
That's a fact.
That's my mind state on that.
Yeah. Me being younger, having kids, I used to always think, damn, I don't want these kids to hate me.
Right.
I don't want me to be old.
Right.
And need to get taken care of. And they be like, man, I ain't taking care of you. You ain't even took care of me.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because that's real.
Well, I got 3 boys and a daughter. Them boys ain't gonna get nothing for me.
And you know which kid. You know which kid.
Yeah, and I be telling them too. But my daughter, she like, that nigga's a superhero. I don't know how y'all crazy. She the youngest one. She do ever since she was a little girl, she do cards. Hey, this is for me and my brothers. I'm like, that ain't from your brothers. That's from you. And ready to slap, and they looking at it. Oh, no, she telling you the truth. Like, man, but when I realized that at the end of the day, you know, it's just naturally it's a culture thing. It's what we taught. But at the same time, it's not a genetic, but it's a natural thing that men and women are different. You know, males and females are so different. And I understood it, but when I had them kids, I'm like, this little girl, she just different, right?
Yeah, because I got all boys. And now I got granddaughters. Right. And I finally, and you know what I be thinking? If I would have had a daughter early on, I would know more about women, I think. Right. Because my granddaughters from 9 months to 7 years old, they just like my woman. Right. Like a girl's a girl. Right. You know what I mean? And you learn because
you learn. Yeah, you definitely gonna learn. Just like I'm thinking in a crazy way, the women learn from men. From boys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep. Now, so going from the parent thing to what you're doing now, like explain to me, how did the basketball league and all that take place?
Just natural, man. A lot of the stuff I do is just natural stuff. It's already implemented in my life, you know, from fashion, like the movies, music, movies. Like we watch movies. So I try to do stuff that's just natural, organic, and not big, far stretches. This is something that I could have did 20 years ago, but I was busy building a music career, right?
Yep.
So I always wanted to come back to it, and as my kids would get older and older and more involved, it only made sense. I'm signing them up for these programs, and I'm like, they ain't really ran right, it's expensive, and you know, the people ain't really involved, and then I'm like, coldest thing, I'm like, I can do that, you know? And I hate to be that dude, because you can't do everything, and you can't look at what people are doing. I can do what they do, but sometimes I'm just see these voids, and I'm like, hey, I can do it. So I started with these camps. Basically, we were at the Salvation Army. The season ended, summer was coming. I asked them, do they have another season coming up? They was like, nah, we don't have nothing. I was like, next month? You know, they was like, nothing. We don't have nothing all summer. I'm like, in the Salvation Army all summer? They're like, yeah, you want to do something? I said, you know what? You know me. So I just put it together real fast, and my boys hit me up and was like, I got an idea. I seen something that said shoot hoops, not guns. And they've been doing that like around the country in different places, kind of with that same term. I was like, man, let's start that, especially with all the violence that was going on in Sacramento, still going on. So put together a one-day camp with these different ages of kids, 7 to 14 years old, boys and girls, and fundamental, because everybody's superstars, everybody travel
shooting them threes.
I'm like, bro, let's make it developmental. Let's take it back. So we was able to do that. It was successful for about 6 months. The news started coming out.
Yeah, I seen that.
A bunch of people. I'm talking about Dizzler. It's funny because you got Dizzler.com. I put out music. They don't post it. I buy a cannabis delivery company. We make $1 million. They don't post it, right? I do this, they post it, right? The news, same thing. They don't post that, they post this, right? So I say, you know what? I ain't stupid. What's wrong with this shit? I don't give a fuck what it is. But at the end of the day, I did that and got reached out to by a local amazing woman who does amazing things at the Rose Foundation. Her name is Jackie Rose. She said, Russ, I love what you're doing. Never met you. I want to give you a position. mentor kids, want you to be able to do your program or help you with your program. And it just kind of went from there. And before you know it, I'm mentoring kids at Burbank, mentoring kids and advocating for kids at John Steele.
I seen you. You got an office somewhere, right?
I got classrooms, and then they gave me these facilities to be able to do my own league too. So got 150 kids the first sign up, first season. 3 different divisions, 4 teams in each division. Actually, we got 5 in the 14U. And like I said, got these amazing uniforms for these kids, replicating the Kings uniforms, and the kids love uniforms. And then we got them playing every Saturday at Burbank and practicing at John Steele. So we just turned it into something of our own, and facilitating a bunch of kids and servicing a bunch of kids who wouldn't have this otherwise. That's
dope. That's dope. I've been so tempted to come help out, man. I'm just so busy.
Don't worry, man. We ain't going nowhere. We ain't going nowhere.
Eventually I will, you know what I mean? Because my boy, Jermaine Brown, shout out to Jermaine. He had a league at Burbank, and coaching, because I played and I was competitive, you know what I mean? And that's how I believe in it.
Right.
And coaching do something to you.
Most definitely.
Like I see a kid in the grocery store. They don't call me Harrison. They be like, "What's up, coach?"
Come on, man.
Like they never gonna forget that experience.
It's forever.
You know what I mean?
It's forever.
So affecting our youth in that way, it's nothing more important. And it seems like with everything you're doing, bro, everything is coming full circle for you.
Yeah, and I mean, it's the universe, right? I'm one of the dudes that believe in the universe.
Yep.
Putting that good energy out there, putting your best foot forward, you know what I mean? And then, like I said, like with these kids, you know, teaching them life skills through basketball.
That's why I think all kids should play sports, because I'm hella big on the scoreboard, you know what I mean? Like I want to win, but you learn man.
Yeah, you learn so much. All these characteristics, self-confidence, self-discipline. You learn how to work well with others, learn how to win, learn how to lose. You know, because people look at win, lose. Yeah, you're gonna do a lot of that in life.
Come on now.
A lot of that in life.
Damn, you gotta know how to lose.
You gotta know how to take that loss. Get yourself back together, and it's what you do after that loss.
It's what you do.
But you're gonna learn that stuff at 7 and 8, 9 years old. You're gonna take it into your adulthood, and you're gonna
That's a fact.
You're gonna master it. You know what I mean?
That's a fact.
Go through that stuff. As opposed to so much of these youth that's character deficient,
deficient, lazy,
life skill deficient. You know, and it's like, you just can't sit in your phone all day.
Can't sit in your phone all day.
And ma'am, have you let the kids sit in their phones since they was like 5 and 6 and 7 and 8? Because it's showing. You know what I mean?
That's a fact. So. That's a parent thing. Because I remember when I was coaching with my boy Jermaine, a big problem that I noticed, and I'm sure teachers feel the same way, it was the fucking parents.
Well, see, and that's the thing that I love so much with working in the community and a mentor. You know, I get so much training, right? So you understand the process. It starts at home. So what do you do? What do you do with the kid? You can't just help the kid. You got to help the house.
You got to help the house, and that's a fact.
People don't want to do all that. They don't want to help the kid. They're like, man, I got to help him every day. He ain't my kid. Yeah. Well, guess what? You got to help his mama, too.
Yep.
Because if you just helping him and he go home, like you said, when he come back to you, it start all over.
You got to start all over. Because we used to have to, we got to the point where, okay, you sign up for my team, I'm going to have y'all sign something saying you're going to come to practice.
Right. You got to bring report cards.
All that.
You got to do all kind of stuff to parents. And then like, we got parent night. So it ain't just discipline and accountability. It's like, let's enjoy and grow and be happy. And, you know, some of these parents ain't happy.
That's a fact.
Right? So it's like, guess what? We got parent night, free drinks, free food. You're like, free drinks, free food? I'm happy as a motherfucker right now. It's like, but we want to put a smile on your face so you can put a smile on your child's face. And then just know that we ain't trying to take over, do nothing crazy. We just trying to echo what you already talking about.
Yep.
I'm trying to be that extra uncle, right? You know he can come over here. I got a kid tomorrow, one of the top players in Sacramento. He sent me a text last night, I'm showing my kids. He said, hey, Aunt, I was just asking you, a superstar. He said, which it don't make a difference, but it to me, it can, right? He said, I just want to ask you, man, could you walk with me on senior night tomorrow?
Damn.
Man, I almost teared up, like, That's why I do it, though. Because I'm going to help these dudes if they never hit me for senior night. Because I was one of them dudes. I'm driving, man, hop in. Man, this dude, coach, come to me today, and he go, I'm not from Sacramento. I thank you for having me involved and volunteering in this. I'm like, thank you for volunteering. He's like, I asked a couple people about you, or I said they said they know you, and the dude told me you saved his life. Now, I know a few situations, but I'm like, it don't really be big to me. Some of these dudes is like, bro, I didn't know the things. Like, it was a kid who was outside. Put it this way, he's in a store and some guy's outside, like, you can't come outside. I walk in the store, he go, Bueno? I'm like, what's it? He go, you know my dad. And I don't feel comfortable telling you this, but see them dudes, it's serious. I can't go, and it was going to be on the news. I said,
like that.
Take my phone, bro. Call your dad right now. You feel me? He called his dad. That was 10 years ago, and that probably wasn't even him that said that. But them is just little scenarios and situations. So, like I said, I do this stuff because I want to be the dude who I needed. I had a dad. I had a bunch of help, but can never get enough. And these kids need it. You know what I mean?
Can never get enough. That's what's up, man. I'm happy we finally got the opportunity to put this together, brother.
You my guy.
I'm watching everything you're doing, bro. And again, because I'm in a creative space now, I look for inspiration from everywhere.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And what you're doing has been inspiring to our community because, some niggas get a little success and bounce.
Of course. I know a few.
Get the fuck out of here. Begrudgingly, though.
Right.
Like, I don't want to be in. So I'm like, damn, how is my little part of town ever going to be well off if everybody who's influential picks up and gets the fuck out of here?
Right. That's why I start so young with these 7-year-olds. So by the time they 14 and lead a program and go on, and they got all these different characteristics in place, they get to these high schools, they finish off strong, and they look back and go, man, ain't no way we not going back there and doing the same thing. I don't think enough adults was helping.
This is a fact. This is a fact because
I think people are too bitter.
Yeah. For all these reasons, people blaming the city and blaming the hood when a lot of this shit is mental. Right. You can have a paradise here in Sacramento.
Right. That's what I teach the kids. You know, we can make all them excuses, but we're going to have to figure out a way, too. We're going to have to figure out the solution.
Yep.
Well,
thank you very much.
And I'm here to help them. That's the big thing.
Here to be of assistance.
Just ain't talking to them. We got to help them, man. We got to walk with them.
There we go. Because you get in these situations where you're coaching these kids and being around these young people, and sometimes they home life is completely
I'm gonna just tell you, we in a community where 85% of our program is disadvantaged.
So you coaching life.
Yeah,
basketball.
most definitely.
You know what I mean? Which is the most important.
Which is the most important. So
definitely. So I want to thank my brother Bueno for showing up to the show, me coming to meet him. You know what I mean? To get this thing right.
My pleasure.
Everybody, do me a favor, please follow everything I do on social media. At the Instagram is at melanatedconvo100. The website is melanatedconvo. You can find the show on YouTube. You can find the show on all the digital platforms. Shout out to my brother Bueno. Tell everybody that's in Sacramento, where can they sign up for the league? Or is it too late?
Well, it's seasonal. So it's every season. The season is about to end in March and start right back up in April. You can go to the EYDL website, check us out, and then you can go to The Real Bueno on Instagram, because I'm always giving updates, and you can go to The Real Bueno on Twitter and check out stuff. I'm always giving updates. We had John Steele on weekdays, and we had Burbank on Saturdays.
There we go. So again, shout out to my brother Bueno, real Sacramento legend.
Right on,
if you don't know, this is another episode of the Melanated Convo podcast.
Salute.
We out.